guys, what's up? I am here with Ryan Hinton, and we are going to talk a little bit about him today because he is our new premier sponsor for Cuties Conquer the Stage. So we're really super excited to have you come out. Wanted to ask you a few questions about you and as far as your background is concerned, so the girls kind of know where you're coming from and you know what you're going to do for them and all that fun stuff. So tell me a little bit about you personally, and then like how you evolved in the sport.
Okay. I started competing in 2014.
Okay.
2013. I turned pro in 2014 in men's physique.
Okay.
But from day one, when I started competing, I knew I wanted to eventually coach. I really enjoyed coaching. I've coached Little League and kids in high school. I mentor a lot of kids in high school. So I knew I wanted to coach. And so went on to two Olympias, 15 and 16. I went full-time coaching with Team Legacy in 2016, and that was when I backed away from competing at the end of 2016, and then just went all in with coaching. I did do one show last year, but it was
kind of throw
in my spare time. Yeah, and honestly, competing has always been a hobby for me, and it always will, no matter what level I compete at.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I take up my approach to coaching most people.
Okay. Do you feel like you can successfully compete like you did at that Olympia level and be a coach? Do you feel like that's possible?
At that level, I would probably have to give some things up, one way or the other. And there are other aspects of my life that would suffer. And for me, it's not worth it. I've achieved everything I wanted to do on stage. Yeah. I mean, and as a hobby. And I placed top 10 in the Olympia, and that was always my goal, my end goal. I never said I want to be top 5 or I want to win. So I mean, and coaching is what I'm really passionate about. So if I do compete, it would be, hey, I want to go on a trip and go see this place or go see that place, and I'll do a show. And
put yourself away from the Waffle House, right?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I'm gonna.
Retire.
That's a different balance.
It's a different kind of balance. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Team Legacy. What are your core values when it comes to Team Legacy?
So what I always preach to everyone is like we're always gonna have a legacy. So I always looked at other coaches, the coaches that were at the top of their games, and what I kind of just picked apart was like the little missing pieces.
Right.
And I think the biggest thing is that people forget why they started. And like when I first started coaching, it was Team Hinton because it was like so generic. My friends just started calling it Team Hinton, and I was like, I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about everyone else. Like,
and what they're bringing. Right?
Like we do this for us. Like each person is doing it for themselves. So like you're gonna have a legacy. So 20, 30, 40 years from now, how are you gonna remember it? How are people gonna remember you? And how are you gonna remember that experience?
Right.
And so that's what I really focus on. That's what legacy is to me. So, I mean, weekly, daily, we always talk about why we do it. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like your placing, what you're really saying is you have a problem with what someone else thinks about your physique.
Correct. That's right.
And then at that point, you kind of need to like step back and think about, what do I think about myself? And I think it takes a constant reminder of the mental aspect of it. So like legacy is like, it's so important, you know?
Well, I think that's one of the biggest things that's difficult for a lot of new competitors when they come out the gate is that, they get into this for these other reasons, but as soon as they step on stage and maybe they don't get the placing that they wanted or something, all of a sudden those other reasons don't matter anymore.
Right.
You know, and they get stuck on that placing and they just chase that placing over and over and over again, and you get onto this cycle that's not a good cycle, and you forget why you started in the beginning.
Yes.
So I do think that's important. I think it's important to have other goals, because we talked about this with other speakers too. You know, at the end of the day, it's a number. You've got to have another reason why.
Right.
You got to have another reason why you're doing it. And in my opinion, it's to impact lives of other people for the good. You know, there's so much that can be benefited from health and fitness, things like that, and what we do. So tell me a little bit about why you're coming to Cuties this year. Like I know you kind of started following what we do last year. We work with a lot of the girls that you coach. So tell me why you decided to come in this year.
Honestly, I've always bought into you and like your leadership and how you run your business, and I've always looked up to you. I've watched the event go on every year, and I'm like, man, I really want to be a part of that. It looks really fun. And I just see year after year, I see girls do better, and not only that, the experience they have. This is a hobby, so your experience needs to be positive.
Correct.
And so I see this go over every year, and I'm like, you know, like you said, like anytime someone asks me, you know, who can do a suit, who can do posing,
Yeah.
I'm like, I've seen you work, I've heard you work, I see how you handle everything, and I'm like pushing everybody, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to be in that too. You know, it was a no-brainer for me.
Well, in my opinion, I feel like when you surround yourself with people that are successful, you become more successful.
Absolutely.
You know, that's kind of the whole goal of the Cuties Confident Stage aspect, because it's by nature, it's a solitary sport.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
it can become very narcissistic. It can become very self-absorbing, and we try to create more of a community atmosphere where these girls have people they can come to that they trust and can help them get through those battles.
Definitely.
So we're really excited to have you because we have a lot. Like I said, I work with a lot of your girls. For those of you that don't know, I do a pro performer giveaway winner thing. So that if you win your pro card while you're doing your senior closing with me, you actually win a sponsorship with me. And we have 3 of your girls that have won that this year, which is friggin' phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, you know, that just shows you the power of bringing a whole group together. So we're really excited about having you guys come in this year and just experiencing the whole event. So what we do with these videos too is we put them out so that our girls can ask you all the kind of questions that they want to ask and want to learn from you and everything too. So guys, feel free, get into that Facebook group. Like I've said, with every one of these people that we put out there, ask your questions for Ryan. Give me an idea too. How many pros have you made in how many months?
Ooh, I think we're at 35 pros in 24 months.
That's not a bad track
Roughly,
record. Yeah, that's not a bad track record.
Bikini, men's physique, figure.
Yeah. What would you say is your wheelhouse? Probably bikini and men's physique, right?
Yeah, right now I'm balancing bikini and men's physique, and honestly, I don't really men's physique. I do it in my sleep. Bikini is fun to me because people think it's tricky, and so that's that right now. Like the last 12 months, I'm really focused on bikini and figure.
Awesome. We love that. So that's a pretty good track record. Like I said, ladies, he probably knows a thing or two. You might want to ask him a few questions in the group. So really appreciate you coming in. It's going to be an awesome weekend in January. We're going to have a great time. So ladies, again, make sure that you ask all your questions, and we'll see you at Cuties Confident Stage in